Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Right, where to start? First off, oh crap. Good. Oh, for fuck's sake. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Right, first off, I'm doing this on a wing and a prayer this morning. Guess who forgot to turn the phone off before he put it back in the cupboard last week? Me. So obviously I've turned it on this morning, seen 27% power and thought, Jesus, it's never going to make it. But I think it will. Hopefully it will. It's plugged into the computer, so it's constantly charging while I'm doing this. So fingers crossed, it'll get through the next hour or so without cutting out on me. I'll get the serious stuff out of the way first. Well, it's not so much serious before we get onto the light-hearted bits. I've been talking to a couple of people this week. Dave Lowe for one. Morning, Dave. And I was expressing my concerns about basically the last couple of weeks where I've been stammering a lot. Things have been going wrong. It's not been the best. And I did say that at one point, I think it was last week, I was beginning to get the feeling that, why am I doing this? What the hell am I putting myself through this every week for? Taking it way too seriously, way too seriously. And he asked me what it was, and I said that it was to do with sometimes the length of the videos. I did used to manage 90 minutes standing on my head. They've come down to an hour over the last couple of weeks, basically because, as I say, things were going wrong. I was stammering a lot. I didn't feel comfortable doing what I was doing, and I did get the feeling that maybe I need a break from it. But it's not the answer. He basically told me exactly what you guys told me ages ago. You do whatever is comfortable for you. If the video is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you do what's comfortable for you. And if you get to the point where you're starting to lose the plot a bit, put off what's in front of you until the following week, until you feel more comfortable with it. He's absolutely right. He's like the voice of reason, a bit like you guys. Every time I start to go a little bit fuzzy, you guys and Dave and other people are there to sort of pull me back into reality and just say, look, for God's sake, stop taking it so seriously. It's an amateur little thing that you do, every week, and you're just basically chatting to people. So don't take it so bloody seriously. And you're all quite right. You're absolutely right. So I am, for the moment, going to try and keep the videos to an hour. There may be slightly less, there may be slightly more. I don't know. But an hour is what I'm generally comfortable with. As soon as we start to go over that, things start to happen. I really want to avoid that, and I certainly don't want to be thinking, I need to quit this, I need to pack it in. I even said at one point to somebody, I'm actually getting bored with it because it's not working. I don't feel confident in what I'm doing, and I'm seriously getting bored with it. And I think as soon as you get to that point, where you start to think of it as more of a chore or a job or something that you feel obliged to do every week, that's the time to jack it in. But Dave's pulled me back from the brink, as I'm fairly sure you will be doing in the comments today, and telling me basically not to be so bloody daft, which I'm not going to be. I have no intention whatsoever of quitting this. I just need to fine-tune it a little bit, and basically have fun with it like I used to do. It really has only been the last couple of weeks that this has happened. Up until then, it's been fine. So I can't let a couple of sort of bad videos, and I know you think they were perfect, but they absolutely were not. A couple of bad videos sort of get the better of me, which I'm not going to do. So thanks for bearing with me on that one. Right, let's kick off. Congratulations to Alec Bean, Mr. A. Crizzy, 17,000 subscribers. Bloody hell, mate, that is really good going. Absolutely cracking achievement, and you're so well deserved. It's a cracking little channel he's got. He reviews movies pretty much every day. I've talked about it before. He works at Cinemark in his hometown, which I'm not sure what it is without looking. But he works in Cinemark. He also works in a high school cafeteria part time. He sees movies pretty much every single day, and he's usually reviewing them very shortly after he's watched them. He publishes pictures of him holding the cinema tickets up of the movie that he's gone to see. So I tell you what, mate, your persistence has definitely paid off. 17,000 subscribers is absolutely amazing. I had to double check it first off because I've got the notes in front of me. I thought, does he mean 1,700? So I looked up and no, 17,000 subscribers. That is amazing. Congratulations, mate, and well done, and very well deserved. Next one is a huge welcome to Sam. Sammy's World of Cinema has joined us at the group. He messaged me a couple of days ago and basically asked me exactly what the group was called. I gather he was looking for it. So I sent him sort of a screenshot. I also sent him a friend request. Friend request. And we've now connected very nicely. So welcome to the group, Sam. As I've said before, feel free to post any of your videos, anything movie related on the group. The more content we get on here, the better. It's a smashing group. You will really, really enjoy it. We're just a nice bunch of people. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of very good natured banter going on. You'll enjoy it. I'm absolutely sure you will. And as for that video that you published a couple of days ago, which was basically a love letter to Yorkshire, Sam did a video where he was basically showing off his physical media collection, anything that was sort of Yorkshire related. So we've got sort of his vinyl collection of like the Human League, Heaven 17, Arctic Monkeys, that kind of thing, and also movies like Kes. Can't remember any of the others, there were loads of them. But it was, like I said in the comments, it was a real love letter to Yorkshire, and it was a lovely video. It really was. Where on earth did you film it? You looked like you was in the local park, but I'm gathering it's your back garden, because I'm taking you wouldn't feel comfortable filming something like that in the park no more than I would. So, but it was a cracking video, mate. I really, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with next. But welcome to the group. Hope you have a good time and you enjoy what we're doing here. And as I say, feel free to post anything that you want within the group. We're a very welcoming group. So I think you'll have a good time. So as I say, welcome to the group, mate. And also, finally, a big hi to Chris. Chris is still on his, well, not still, but he's on his sort of social media break. I don't know whether he still watches the videos, but if you do, Chris, we're looking forward to you coming back at some point. Hope everything's okay with you. Miss you, really, really miss you. It's always not quite right when somebody drops off the perch, a bit like when I do it for a couple of weeks. I assume I missed. I hope I haven't. So, but yeah, just to let you know that we do miss you, mate, and we're looking forward to you coming back at some point. And basically, we hope that everything's okay with you over there in wherever it is you're from. So yeah, so hi to Chris, and that's from all of us. That's not just me. I'm sure that echoes the sentiments of everybody within the group. So fingers crossed everything's okay with you, mate, and we'll see you again soon. Right, before I get on to the comments, a quick word about a video published by Scott, the lovely Scott, who wasn't quite so lovely in this one. Holy crap. Scott, as you know, has recently been on a social media break, and where do I even start with this? He came back probably a couple of weeks ago. He's published a couple of videos, and he's basically said that he won't be publishing as frequently as he did, because he probably doesn't feel it necessary. But what he did publish was a rant video, 15 minutes of it. And my God, if you've not watched it, take a look and see how many of the points that he raised you actually identify with. I identified with all of them. It's a shame in a way that you felt it necessary to do that. I'm assuming there is a story behind this, and there's a reason that you felt the need to do this. You gave us a warning at the beginning that will be an absolute crapload of swearing in it, and you didn't disappoint. But I think when a video begins with the words, where do I start? Tell you what, we'll start with people. Fucking people. I thought, oh Christ, here we go. So, where do I even start? Let me consult my notes. First of all, your first issue was folks questioning the amount of films that you've watched. You did say at the end of the video to let you know whether we sort of identify with anything that you're saying, and pretty much every point. Yes, obviously, if you've been looking at the posts on the group over the last sort of 3 years, you will know that obviously I do get a load of stick for what I've not watched, the films I've not seen, the films that I don't want to watch, this, that and the other. So it does happen. It happens to everybody. The difference with my lot is that it is all good-natured banter, and it's all done in the name of a laugh. Nothing is taken seriously. I have had my moments in the past, as the lads will tell you, when I've thought, bloody sick of this, fuckers, why are they always picking up? And then obviously again, like Dave did with me earlier on, they pull me back. They sort of lead me to the edge of the cliff. They're just about to push me over, and then they turn me around and pull me back again. And that's how it works. It is just good-natured banter and nothing else. And to be honest, the group wouldn't be the same without it. It'd be bloody boring if we were all serious about everything. So I wouldn't have it any other way. But I get the feeling that what happened with you was probably a little more serious, but whether you want to talk about that or not, I don't know. So that was one of them. So yes, I do get stick about the films that I've not watched, and I will continue to get it. I hope I do anyway, because as I say, it wouldn't be the same without it. But it is just done in the name of a bit of a giggle and nothing more than that. Your next point was folks asking why your favourite film is Dawn of the Dead. What the fuck has that got to do with anything? You try admitting that your favourite movie is Saturday Night Fever, a disco movie from the 70s. Try admitting that one and see how far you get. That has no bearing whatsoever on anything you say or do on the channel. That poster behind you, by the way, is absolutely mint. I would love that. So I can't even see the point in... Why would you do that? No, that's... So, yeah, let's see. Do people take the piss out of me for my favourite films? Yeah, all the time. But that's just how we are. That's how we roll at Retro Movie Zone Chit Chat. That's how we roll. So I do have other favourite films that I have admitted in the past and bitterly regretted it minutes later. So, yeah, you're not the only one with that, mate, but it absolutely does not define who you are or what your channel is all about. So as far as that concerns, just tell them, fuck off, nothing to do with you. Right, people don't get how much guts it takes to upload videos to YouTube. They think it's easy. I'm reading off my notes here. It's true. What they don't realise when they are sitting there criticising you, and I'm definitely not talking about my lot on this one, when they are criticising your content and what you do and what you say and the way you present it, they have no idea how difficult it is to do what we do. As I've said before, my first video was probably 3 or 4 minutes, and it was an absolute nightmare. It really was. I was so nervous. And after I'd finished doing it, I remember thinking, that's going to be a one-off. There's no way I'm going to carry this on. That was really hard. And that was only 3 or 4 minutes. And as I said before, now I can rattle on for 60 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, and think nothing of it. So, yeah, people don't get it. They sit there and they judge. I class them as keyboard warriors. That's all they are, because they've got no balls at all. So anybody that criticises the content of your videos, it's not them that you're making it for. And I've said this before as well. You are making the videos for your dedicated audience. The people that watch your videos, the people that enjoy your content, the people like you as a person. That's who you're doing it for. You're not doing it for these people who are constantly going to be spitting poison at you. It's my only advice to that, and I haven't had it happen yet. I've not had anybody drop any negative comments on the videos that I do. I'm quite lucky like that. But if I did start to get nasty comments from people that I've no idea who they are, my simple answer would be completely ignore it. Delete the comment and forget it happened. Because believe me, it absolutely is not worth it to get all wound up about it. These people are fucking idiots. They are absolute dickheads. They're not worth it. So that's my advice. If you get comments that you don't like or that you don't agree with, delete them. And please don't do what I used to do. I did get a couple of bad comments on one or two of the posts. Oh, this is going back years. And I kept reading it over and over again. And every time I went on the computer, I'd bring it up and read it again, basically reinforcing in the mind that, you know, they're right, you shouldn't be doing it. And it absolutely, it does your head in, I'll tell you now. It puts you in a completely negative mindset towards what you're doing. So no, absolutely not. Bad comments, delete them, forget them. And the people that put them there, fuck them. They're not important. Absolutely not. What else have I got here? Let's see. Or you were talking about the bigger channels, basically thinking that they are better than us smaller, more personal channels. I subscribe to loads and loads of different channels, and a lot of them are what I would class as probably more professional channels than mine. The daft thing is I get notifications every single day via email that these people have posted, sometimes 2-3 times a day, and I just delete the notifications and I don't watch the videos. What I need to do now, and you've kind of brought me to this, is to delete all the people that I don't actually watch. I prefer watching channels like mine, like yours, like Sam's, Gareth Video Tasties, all those sort of people. And of course the late great Dave Oliver, who was an absolute master at it. I prefer watching channels like that. People who will sit like I am talking to you now, and just basically telling you that, you know, what I've watched, what I've not watched, my opinion on it, whether I liked it, didn't like it, that kind of thing. I really don't want to see these, and they are arrogant. A lot of them are so arrogant. They act like proper TV presenters, and it's like, you know, fucking chill, mate. So what else have I got written here? Oh, you were talking about the amount of subs that these people get, and a lot of them apparently buying them. They purchase the subscriptions. Nothing to be proud of there, is there? Not really. If you're having to buy your audience, I would rather grow my audience very, very slowly, which I've not been disappointed with that. That's exactly what's happened. I have no idea how many subscribers I've got as of right now because I haven't looked. The last time I looked, it was about 120 something, I can't remember. But I would rather get my audience like that, and have people subscribe to the channel because they enjoy what I do and the content that I produce, if you even class it as content, then go somewhere and say, you know, how much would it cost me for 1,000 subscribers? Well, what the fuck would you do with them? If they're not going to watch your content, what is the point in even having them there? So no, I don't think that's anything to be proud of at all, not at all. And a lot of them, as you say, they purchase these subscribers because when you get, if I've got this right, when you get to a certain amount of subscribers, I think it's 5,000, but I could be wrong, you can actually start to monetize your channel and make money from it. That's not what I'm in it for. If I want to make money online, I'll do it selling on Amazon or something like that. I won't do it from this. This is a passion project, like it is with you, like it is with Gareth Video Tasties, Sam, all these people. They do it because they enjoy doing it, and they enjoy doing it because it's their passion. They love movies. They don't do it because they want to make money out of it. So no, I don't think there's anything to be proud of there. I'd rather have 10 subscribers that watch my channel every week and listen to what I'm saying and comment on what I'm saying, than 1,000 subscribers that they're just there. They don't do anything. So yeah, quite with you on that. Next point. God, Scott, you're going to take the first half hour up here. People questioning why you buy physical media rather than streaming movies. Yeah, there's a very good reason for this. One, because you enjoy owning physical media, as we all do. If I like a film enough, I will want to purchase it on Blu-ray or 4K and have it on the shelf. Um, the other reason is that when you purchase streamed movies, which I only purchase streamed movies if there is no other way to get them, and it's usually on Amazon. The reason is that they can be removed at any time. If Amazon loses the rights to the movie, those movies will disappear from Amazon Prime. They will disappear, and you won't know anything about it until you go to watch it, and it's not there anymore. So it is never really completely yours. Whereas a physical copy, you put it on your shelf, you can pull it down any time, bung it in the machine, and watch it. And besides which, mate, it's your personal choice. So again, fuck them. If they're saying, why are you buying movies when you can just stream them for nothing? Maybe you don't want to stream them for nothing. Maybe you want to own them or watch them in proper quality. Because obviously the quality of a streamed movie or a downloaded movie, yes, I will say that, of a downloaded movie, it is never as pin sharp as a 4K or a Blu-ray. And sometimes you do want the best possible quality, and you do. And I'm the same, exactly the same. So again, bollocks to them. If they don't agree with what you're saying as far as buying physical media goes, stuff them. You don't do it for them. Showing off movies as well. I do it, but not in an arrogant way. I think you were mainly commenting on people who will hold up some exclusive version of a film with all sorts of bells and whistles on it, saying, here, I've got this one, it's really rare now, you'll not get this, but I've got it, look. You see, I don't do that. All I do is, if I've bought movies, which I will be doing later on, I'll just show you what I've got so that you know what's coming up review wise over the next probably 5 years, knowing me. But that's why I do it. It's not done in a remotely arrogant show off way. It is just me being proud of the collection I've got, and showing off my top 5 of a certain director or actor or whatever. So, but that does get on your nerves, and it does get on mine. And the main people who do it are the people that I will be deleting over the next few days. I think the way is, as soon as I get a notification for a personal channel that's published a video that that I've never watched, I'll just follow it and then unsubscribe and see if I can bring the numbers down a bit. There's no point in having them there if you're not going to watch them. So let's see. Disrespecting other people's opinions of movies. I take it you've had this happening a lot as well. As you say, it is perfectly okay for people to like different types of movies. God knows we've found that out on this group. It's hard to know where to start with this one. What have they? I need to know what they've been saying. Have they basically been telling you that your choice of movies is crap? Because again, that happens pretty much all the time on the group, especially when I mentioned movies like Larmageddon and Killer Sofa, which I'm famous for. But you know what? It is what it is. As I've said before, if we all liked the same kind of films, it'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it? There'd be nothing to discuss. There'd be no discussions. We'd all just be saying how brilliant something was or how rubbish something was. But again, it is what it is. The world isn't like that. But there is the way that you do it. And I get the feeling that you've had people sort of, as you say, disrespecting your opinion of these movies, rather than just saying, I don't agree with that, I didn't like it. And that's how it works with us. You know what I mean? I find it difficult to criticise movies heavily. And I don't know why, I just do. I can't say that a movie is shit, because to me, a movie that I hate is something that everybody else is going to love, and it usually works that way on here. It does. But no, there's no reason to be nasty about it. It doesn't have to turn horrible. It's just a difference of opinion. And again, the group wouldn't be the same without it, but there's a way to do it, and I think we've struck the balance really well within this group. I really do. But yeah, it's perfectly okay to like a movie that everybody else is gonna, hate or not like, or for any reason. Ask Jason and Mark; they'll tell you. They make absolutely no bones about telling everybody exactly how they feel. So no, it was it Clint Eastwood that said opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. That pretty much sums it up. What else have I got here? We're coming to the end of it, guys. Don't worry. Oh, that was it. Have I had similar experience? Not seen enough films, etc. Yes, I do. I do get everything you've said, and everything that has happened to you has probably happened within the group, but it is handled in a completely different way, totally different, to the way that you've obviously had. And I'd be very curious to know what it was that sparked that off. Obviously, that's been building up for quite a while. Watching the video, it was a bit like setting light to a firework. We get a few sparks to start with, and then all of a sudden there's this huge, massive fuck off explosion. I mean, hats off to you for doing it, mate, and hats off to you for speaking your mind and basically saying it how it is. But on not such a light-hearted note, as I said before, it is a bit of a shame that you felt the need to do that, and that people drove you to do that. But you certainly got your point across, and you've certainly given me plenty to talk about, because you basically killed the first half hour for me. So thanks for that. I hope everything's okay apart from that, and we hope obviously that you're glad that you came back. And whatever you do, do not let these naysayers chase you off again if that's what happened, because none of these people are worth it. You just stick with your regular crew, the people that love what you do, enjoy your content, direct everything at them. Fuck all the others, they don't matter. If you find out who they are, just unsubscribe. Just ban them, get rid of them. They're of no use to you, no use at all. So thanks for that. No, it's good to have you back, mate. And I say, I sincerely hope that you don't feel the need to do that again. But if you do, it was very entertaining, but for all the wrong reasons, if that makes any sense. So if you do feel the need to have another rant, you go for it. You will give me plenty to talk about, and your videos always give me plenty to talk about, as do all the others that I've yet to catch up on this week. I'll come back onto that later. So right, I am going to take a quick break, coming up to 28 minutes, and then we'll move on to oh, hang on, there's a couple more bits here from you. Hang on. Oh, the other thing was that rant video that you did, it got 130 comments. People are with you, mate. They are absolutely with you on every point that you raised. With that 130 comments, that's amazing. Is that the most you've ever got on a video? Because I suspect, without looking, it probably is. So you've got plenty of positivity there and loads of support. Absolutely. So, and that basically proves that these other people that are driving you nuts, it's just, they ain't worth it. And I enjoyed the birthday haul, by the way. Absolutely love the birthday haul video you did. Those t-shirts were amazing. Was it Predator? What was the other one? Where are you? Oh, the Warriors. Love that movie. Let's see, your DVDs and Blu-rays. Five Nights at Freddy's. Not seen that one yet. That's one I do want to see. Primal Fear, saw it years ago. Twist at the end. Whoa, didn't see that one coming. 1 Million Years BC. You've never seen that? Oh wow, classic Hammer movie. Raquel Welch battling a load of dinosaurs, and obviously the special effects and the stop motion monsters were made by obviously Ray Harryhausen, who was famous for obviously the Sinbad films, various other movies. Cracking film if you've not seen it. Look forward to hearing your review of that one. And Hanny Calder, that's another Raquel Welch movie, and it's one that I meant to purchase on 88 Films, and I'm glad you've reminded me about that one, because I'll probably go onto Amazon and order a copy of that in a bit. Never seen it, but I get the feeling I'd really enjoy that one. Your vinyl was great. You lost me a bit with some of the more obscure bands, but the Who one was absolutely superb. That sort of set of Blu-rays that you got, set of Dexter, it's a series that I've meant to take a look at for ages but never got round to. So you kind of fired me up about that, and I'm fairly sure it's streaming, so I'll be taking a look at that. Films and music videos that scared me as a kid. That was another one you did. I had two, and I'll talk about them at some other point because I'm coming up to 30 minutes and I don't want this thing to cut out. I've got two that scared me rigid as a kid, but I will tell you about them at another time. So I'll be back in a sec. And we're back. Right, first off, thanks, Scott, for fuck's sake. And we're back. Right, first of all, thanks, Scott, for giving me so much to talk about in the first half. It's always good to have plenty to natter about, and that video of yours certainly gave me that in spades. The films and music videos that scared me as a kid, I'm going to save that for next week, because that's another interesting little story that I need to impart to you. So I'm going to transfer that over to next week's notes, and I'll be coming on to that one next week. So, right, comments on last week's video. David Mansell, morning Dave. Love the outtake at the start of the video. Keep up the great work and keep the shout outs coming for fellow YouTubers, most of whom I follow. You're more than welcome, mate. And yes, I will be continuing to shout out to YouTubers that I follow and you guys follow as well. I think it's important just to to give them a mention every now and then. Plus, it makes them feel good. It does me whenever anybody mentions mine. So, thanks for that, David. Stuart, we were talking about my attic, my famous attic. My loft and garage is sat full of all my old treasures. Because I'm a lazy sod, I can't be asked to go through it all. I say treasures, the average person probably thinks it's all rubbish. Yeah, we know what we think of average people now, don't we? I think we covered that in the first half. Their opinions mean absolutely nothing as far as that goes. I have got stuff up there, as far as I can remember, that I'd be proud to show off. And I've got other stuff out there that I would definitely not be proud to show off. So I totally get that. You should actually do a video if you can. Oh God, here's me talking. You should actually do a video of some of your little treasures, because I would love to see some of them. Take us into your garage and show us what you've got. So will I be doing that? I don't know. You see, the difference being that if it's in a garage, you just walk into it. To get into my attic, I've got to set up ladders. The little portal that you crawl through is tiny. I can literally only just get through it. So it is a little bit more difficult for me. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying that it's got to happen at the right time. Rob is a lot slimmer than I am, so he can get up there quite easily. As for me, hoisting my bulk up there, it's not something I'm looking forward to, but I will be doing it at some point. But we shall see what happens with that. So thanks for that, Stuart. It's always good to hear from you. Guy, no Tony time on a Saturday is weird. I didn't know what that meant, and it suddenly twigged on. Well, it didn't twig to me. Jason told me he's on holiday. That's why. So I'll still be waiting when you get back, mate. Hope you're enjoying your holiday, by the way. I'll be coming back onto that later because you introduced us to something brilliant this week, which I'm going to be sharing. But they'll have all seen it on the group. But got a couple of words to say about it. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy. Morning, Steve. I want a 4K of Geostorm just to check it really is crap. I don't think it will be. I really don't. And I would imagine in 4K it'll look even better. So, new feature, Tony's at it in the attic. Really? Tony's at it in the attic. I can barely even say it, but it's a good thought, Steve. Maybe if I do get as far as actually going up there, I shall adopt that title. I shall make a note of that. Start using that air fryer. Oh, here we go. That will help with weight loss, I'm assuming you're talking about. I'm using mine for salmon kippers, which I now love. Have those at breakfast. Kippers for breakfast. Oh my God, I can't imagine it. No oil needed in the cooking. Small pies, quiche heated, all lovely. And then I have whole grain Mexican rice with the fish. Even garlic bread can be done in the air fryer. Losing weight faster now, plus the old cholesterol is kept at bay. Go on, Tony, take the plunge. I will be doing, I promise I will be doing. I've been assured that it will revolutionise the way that I actually cook meals, and that I will not be using my oven anymore once I get used to it. So I will do it. It is still sitting in the box behind me, believe it or not. I'm hoping that by the time you watch this, I will have actually got the thing out and set it up and actually tried something in it. Um, but I will be doing little videos on stuff that I make in it, especially the very first thing, because I think you'll find that quite entertaining, as I will. So you were saying I watched Gladiator 4K director's cut. Such a great film still. I haven't seen Gladiator since it first came out. Absolutely love it. I do need to catch up with it, preferably before Gladiator 2 comes out later this year. I'm really, really looking forward to that, but I do need to catch up with the original first. For no other reason than I haven't seen it for ages. Nod to Mr. Hukin. Yeah, we've already done that. I did say hello to him right at the beginning. I do miss him. I really, really do. I miss his, his Hukes Sunday Marvel videos and all his other videos that he used to do and his posts. I do miss him as the group does. So, yeah, as I say, Chris, if you are watching this, come back, mate. We miss you. We miss you. The Long Good Friday 4K looked and sounded great. The music is so good. Hoskins' finest moment. Quite agree. I don't think he's ever topped it. I think Mona Lisa came a good second, but The Long Good Friday, to me, it's one of the top, I would say, 3 or 4 gangster movies, British gangster movies ever. Only topped, if possible, by Mona Lisa and, of course, Get Carter, Michael Caine. That's the only one that I would say, I wouldn't even know whether it's better. I would lump them all in the same bracket and say these are the top British gangster movies ever. So I totally get that. Now about to watch Can't Stop the Music. Village People I know, but it shows I have an eclectic taste in film. I didn't say it was good though. It's not good, Steve. It's not good by any means. To me, it's a colourful, camp, glitzy musical that's just good fun to watch. I haven't seen it for many, many years, but I do remember buying the soundtrack on vinyl, which I think I've still got upstairs. I just thought it was incredibly good fun. That it got panned something rotten by the critics when it came out. They absolutely hated it. And when I watched it, I couldn't understand why, because I really, really enjoyed it. But to say that it's good, I would say it's not good. It's one of those so bad it's good movies, I think. But I am actually very, very tempted to grab a copy of that on 4K, seeing as it is region free. I might just do that. So that's one that I could be showing off over the next few weeks with a bit of luck. You also commented on my Tommy Lee Jones 5 movies that I picked for this week. Eyes of Laura Mars, Dunaway was brilliant. She absolutely was, and obviously Tommy Lee Jones was superb in that. Coal Miner's Daughter, story of Loretta Lynn, netted an Oscar and Golden Globe for Sissy Spacek, and well deserved. I remember seeing that many, many years ago, and really, really enjoying it. Loved the soundtrack too. Love story with that beautiful theme. Good movies all round. Absolutely, a good choice of 5. So thanks for that, Steve. Much appreciated. Always good to hear from you. And I will be catching up on your Criterion videos at some point very soon. I've had a lot going on just recently, so I've not had much time to be watching anybody else's videos yet. But I will be catching up on them, and that goes for all of you, Jason, Sam, all you lot. I will be catching up on your videos very, very shortly. Callie, morning, Callie. This is on last week's video, or the week before, I should say. A little late to the party this week, but finally watching this week's Tony Time. I'll keep it short for once. Another great episode, Hon. Thanks for the love and shout outs, and looking forward to next week's episode. Much appreciated, Callie. And then you did drop a comment on this week's video. Saturday morning Tony Time. You are more than welcome, Hon. It was a pleasure having you on the show again. I loved it, absolutely adored it. We had such a laugh. I haven't watched it back yet. I don't really need to because I was there. But it was a brilliant experience, and it kind of brought me out of my shell a bit. So thanks for that. It was just really good fun. We had such a laugh, chatting about the Carry On films and stuff like that. You guys, if you've not seen it, have a look and see what you think. But I really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to the next time. If you ask me on again, I would certainly love to do it again, under the same, probably the same circumstances. But yeah, absolutely had a brilliant time, Kelly. So thanks ever so much for that. You put this week's episode is already uploaded. I did watch the first 5 minutes of it, and I thought I'll come back to that. So there's no rush, as I say. I was there, so unfortunately I'm rushed off my feet, so I'll have to watch the rest later and make an epic comment to go along with it. Don't worry if you don't. Honestly, it's fine. It is absolutely fine. Lee, there's nothing worse than, oh fuck, that was my first outtake. Well, the only outtake last week, thank God. Basically, me about to mention lack of sleep, which is why last week's video went, well, I think went so drastically wrong, in my opinion anyway. So thanks for that, Lee. Jason K, another cracking vid, Tony. Thanks, Jay. Getting in shape or losing weight is always a hard thing, but no matter what, keep at it. Make small positive changes and be consistent. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I can't see the point in completely overhauling my eating. It's just not going to work. It never ever does. But I can make small changes which will hopefully make big differences, and that is what I'm working on at the moment. So I'll keep you posted on that. Let's see. I put on a few kilos recently due to injury. When I say recently, it's been about a year, as I injured my legs, and I used to love running. I enjoyed running when I used to do it. I even downloaded the Couch to 5K app, and I've started on it 5 or 6 times, and every single time I get to about week 7 or 8 and I come up with some stupid injury to my ankle. Nothing serious, but something serious enough to stop doing it for a week or two, and then obviously you have to go back to the beginning and start again. But somebody has told me that walking is just as effective as running. It doesn't burn as many calories, but if you do it every day, you'll get the same results. You put yourself, now it's 30 minutes of walking a day on an incline at the gym. Oh, I couldn't do it in a gym, definitely not. No, I'll just step outside and go for a walk around the estates, around the park and that kind of thing. Plus weights. You put weights on. I would not have thought of doing that. Is that these ankle weights that you just put on? Do they help? You have to let me know on that. I love munching on chips or crisps while I watch a movie. Probably wouldn't be too bad if it was only weekends, but I watch movies every day. Yeah, I shouldn't imagine that helps, but I'm hardly one to talk. If I put a movie on, got to have either like a bag of popcorn or a chocolate bar or something like that, and that's what I've got to knock on the head a little bit anyway. Hope you enjoyed Geostorm and Tank Girl. I got that from Umbrella. I'll pop it up on the channel in a few weeks. Take care. Look forward to that. I pretty much know what your opinion of Tank Girl is, and I know you quite enjoyed Geostorm. Wasn't the best film you've ever seen, but it was quite passable as far as you go. So thanks ever so much for that, Jay. Always good to hear from you. Mark. Morning, Mark. Great video, mate. Thanks for that. I've got 16 films written down as of this morning that I want to watch from my never seen thread. Jason, when you've finished, I'd also like to know which films you turned off so I can avoid them. Why? Your opinion might be very, very different from Jason's. You don't know. Then again, probably not, because you do tend to agree a lot on your choices of movies. So, but you have disagreed quite a few times. So yeah, I would still watch something if somebody else had said it's rubbish. If I wanted to watch it enough, it wouldn't make any difference to me. My never seen thread, by the way, I hope is kicking off next week. I've already got one picked out. One that I got halfway through about 2 weeks ago. I need to watch the last half, and that's ready to go. So mine will start next week. It's not going to be done over a set amount of weeks. I'm just going to keep it going because, as I'm sure you can appreciate, and as you've all pointed out to me many times, my never seen could go on for years. So it's just going to be an ongoer, that one. Let's see. Jason, you replied, I wrote never seen on my notes and couldn't remember why, but you reminded me that if I turned a few... oh, hang on. Let me read that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow down. You put, I wrote never seen on my notes and I couldn't remember why, but you reminded me if of that I turned a few off. Oh yeah, you basically Mark reminded you that there were loads of movies that you had actually turned off. Yes, I've turned about 30 off. The ones that you see in the never seen thread, I've watched all the way through. So all the ones you've published on that thread, you have actually watched them all. Even though I didn't enjoy Apollo 13, I watched it all the way through to see what happens. I actually can't remember what I've turned off because you watched that many. That's why. Yeah, 9 to 5 was one of them. Oh no, really? Oh no. 9 to 5 is one of my favourites. Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, and Lily Tomlin, and the wonderful Dabney Coleman. Oh my God. I didn't see that one coming. I loved 9 to 5. I remember seeing that at the Odeon when it first came out. It was on a blisteringly hot summer day. I'd seen the other two movies that were on. It's not one that I fancied watching, but I thought there's nothing else, I'll go and watch it. And I absolutely adored it, and I've loved it ever since. So, yeah, didn't see that one coming. And Robin Williams one, What Dreams May Come. I've got this on Blu-ray, but I've not watched it yet. I really can't think what I turned off, as it was the first couple of months of the year. So you basically got the most rubbish ones that you thought were going to be crap out of the way. So going back to Australian movies, I also love Ned Kelly with Heath Ledger. And there is also another one with Russell Crowe and Charlie Hunnam about Ned Kelly as well. I don't know the one with Russell Crowe and Charlie Hunnam, but I have heard about the one with Heath Ledger. So I will be taking that one in. I'll make a note of that on my Australian movies watch list before I delete this, so I won't forget that one. When it comes to losing weight, truth is you don't need to cut any foods out. You just have to be in a calorie deficit, making better choices, controlling portion sizes, trying not to eat foods that are calorie dense. But fuck it, why have abs when you can have kebabs? Nicely said. A clever play on words there, Mark. Yeah, I mean, move more, eat less. It's that simple, isn't it? And you've got to burn off more calories than you're putting in. It really is that simple, isn't it? I know people talk about macros and all this sort of thing. I can't be doing with going into it that deeply. All I need to do, as you say, is to cut down on certain foods, get the portion sizes right, and not eat so much of what I do actually enjoy. So I've got the idea of what I need to do. I just need to put it into action. See you same time next week. You certainly will, Mark. Absolutely. Thanks for that, mate. Much appreciated. Always brilliant to hear from you. Jason P. Morning, Jay. Well, I enjoyed the video anyway. I'm expecting you to storm in with a 2-hour epic soon, because you'll want to get everything cleared up, and you'll be on such a roll you won't notice the time. That is how it happened the last time a long video happened. I rattled on for that long. I basically took no notice of the time. Yeah, it's a possibility it'll happen. I'm not aiming for it, as I say. I'm trying to keep it to within an hour because it's manageable for me. But I'm never say never. Jaws 4. I'm going to watch it again soon, so stand by for an update. Jaws 3 gets knocked too, but I've seen that about 5 times, believe it or not. I think the 3D part just made it look a bit of a joke, even for its time. I always laugh at that bit now, even after 40 years. 3D back in the 80s was not brilliant, and it wasn't. And that was probably one of the worst examples of it. I do remember going to see Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. And all it involved back then was basically taking inanimate objects and moving them out of the screen. I think it was a line prop in that one. You'd also got, if I remember correctly, a rat crawling out on a little plank coming out at you. But it was nothing spectacular the way I suspect it probably is now. 3D in the 80s was really primitive. So yeah, I completely get that it looked rubbish. Whether I'll watch it in 3D, if it comes with the option to do that when I get it on 4K, I don't know. I never feel quite right with those stupid glasses on. I'd rather just watch it in 2D, to be honest. Diet. Just eat what the bloody hell you want. Life is too short. I need to cut down as I'm a fat twat, but I'm aiming for a weight 2 stone heavier than you. What? You're never that big. No way. Right, so you're aiming for a weight 2 stone heavier than me. So you're looking at 18 stone coming down to. That surprises me because you don't look heavier than 18 stone. That surprises me. But the difference is between me and you will actually do it, Jay. You will actually do it and you will conquer it. I know you will because you're really good at this sort of thing. Thanks for a funny video. It does make me laugh seeing you laugh about the banter comments to an innocent post you put on. You guarantee if there's a wind up in the post, we will find it. I know you will, you buggers. That would have been the attic. That would have been the attic rant, I dare say. As I said when I was talking to Scott earlier on, that is the main difference between what was happening to him and what goes off within the group. With you lot, it is just banter. It's just a laugh. And as I say, the group would not be the same without it. It really wouldn't. It'd be bloody boring if all that stopped. It really would be so boring. And as I said, I've looked at various groups purporting to do what we're doing, and it's not the same. It absolutely isn't. So yeah, we are unique, and we should keep it going, and that is part of it. Keep up the good work, mate, and have a good weekend. Thanks, mate. Really appreciated. Your never seen for this week was Apollo 13, which I think you mentioned in one of your comments to Mark. NASA must devise a strategy to return Apollo 13 to Earth safely after the spacecraft undergoes massive internal damage, putting the lives of the 3 astronauts on board in jeopardy. You put, I've avoided this for years, but it popped up on Prime, so I thought I'd give it a go. I bought it on Blu-ray the other week, but I've not watched it yet. Ooh, I know. Well, that's 2 hours I won't be getting back. Bored the shit out of me. Succinct and to the point. If you'd have asked me what you were going to think of that before you watched it, I probably would have said the same thing. It doesn't sound like an action-packed type of thing. It's obviously a drama-based film. And I don't think you do sort of slow burn drama. I think they've got to be really good for you to give it a positive review or whatever. So I probably would have said the same thing. I will let you know when I've watched it what I think of it. I will probably think completely the opposite to you. I can see that one coming. But looking forward to finding out what next week's Never Seen It is. As I say, mine will be starting hopefully next week. I'm going to watch the last half of the first entry, hopefully later this morning. And that will be my first Never Seen, and mine will be going on indefinitely for as long as it takes, which I'm sure you know is going to be quite a while. So right, what have I been watching this week? We watched a documentary the other night. I put the trailer on for something that I was curious about, and I must have had it on quite loud because Rob came in and said, "What's this?" I said, "It's a trailer for something that's just landed on, I think it was Netflix, or was it Prime? Netflix." And he says, "Oh, can we watch that?" Yeah, sure. It's called Dirty Pop. And it's about a guy named Lou Pearlman. Now, Lou Pearlman is famous for having discovered and put together the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and a host of other boy bands. I think O-Town was another one. Never heard of that one. And basically it's the story of how he scammed them. It's not a very nice story. It's in 3 episodes, but it is riveting stuff. It really is. If you were ever a fan of sort of the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, all that sort of thing, or the whole boy band thing, it's definitely worth a watch. And if you like a good story, it's definitely worth a watch. There's some really unpleasant stuff in there. But it's well worth a watch. It's 3 hour long, well actually 40-minute episodes. We watched the first 2, and as much as it was way past my bedtime, I did say, you know what, we might as well watch the last one because I want to see what happens to him. But if you like a good story, it's definitely worth a watch, and if you enjoy hearing about the darker side of pop music, you will love it. So that's what we were watching last week. I've also been asking people for their top 5. Let me get this. Top 5 films that you hate, but everyone else seems to love. And that's my question to you now. Send them via Messenger. We might have done this before, I can't remember. But send me a list of 5 movies that you, let me get this the right way round, that you hate, but everyone else seems to love. Message them over to me. I've got one here, and I've not set it up on my phone. He actually sent it me via WhatsApp. So just bear with me while I bring it up. Here we go. Right, this is Dave Lowe's list. 5 movies I dislike that everyone loves. No particular order, just wrote them down as I thought of them. There's probably more than that, more that have slipped my mind. Number 1. Oh, this is going to be a controversial one. The Warriors. Now, I knew about this one because he's mentioned this to me before. Every time I mention not liking this movie, it nearly starts a fist fight. To me, and to pretty much everyone in the group, and I'd be curious to know whether you do agree with me on this or whether you agree with Dave, The Warriors is a stone cold classic of the 70s. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's not realistic in any way. It's just a really entertaining action romp. What did you reckon to The Wanderers, Dave? Have you seen The Wanderers? It's a very similar thing, but set in the 60s with an awesome 60s soundtrack. Be very curious to see whether you've seen The Wanderers and whether you thought the same of that one. Number 2 was Gladiator. What? I was late to watching this movie. I'm not sure if it was overhyped for me or something, as when I watched it I just felt so let down. Fun fact, this movie was my very first DVD purchase. I also picked up the 4K Steelbook. Why? It looks lovely and it's in my to watch list. Maybe after all these years I will watch it with different eyes brain. Yeah, I do kind of get that. I have bought movies in the past that I've not really enjoyed, but I enjoyed the visual style of it or something like that, and I've bought it and sort of not watched it since. So I do get that. I'd be very curious to see whether you do think of it differently now. 3, No Country for Old Men. Just think this is super slow paced and just has me reaching for my phone every couple of minutes. I've only seen it once, Dave. I do remember enjoying it. I also remember it being very dark and quite violent. But yeah, I do remember enjoying that one, so we're going to differ on that one. Oh my god. Number 4, Alien. I have absolutely no love for this movie. Aliens, however, is fantastic. They are completely different animals than they are. Aliens is... It's just a balls out action film. The original Alien is definitely a sci-fi horror hybrid. And it was one of the first of its kind, which is why I liked it so much. When Alien first came out and I went to see it at the Odeon, I'd never actually seen anything like that before. I'd seen sci-fi movies and I'd seen horror movies, but never the twain shall meet. And that was the first sci-fi horror movie that I think I ever set eyes on, and I absolutely loved it. But it is completely different to Aliens and the rest of the franchise for that matter. And number 5, The Outsiders. We've talked about this one before as well. This is probably my biggest disappointment. I only watched it recently after picking up The Outsiders, the complete novel box set. After seeing the cast, I assumed it was a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it just turned out to be a bunch of Hollywood stars in their early years screaming and shouting. After seeing this, I'm surprised any of them actually made a name for themselves in Hollywood. What? Really? Again, saw it years ago, absolutely loved it. I mostly loved it for the fact that you've just mentioned, is that it was the first outing for the Brat Pack, basically, because you got Patrick Swayze in there, Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell. There was loads of them in there. A good list, Dave. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes when you flip that over and you do 5 films that you love that everybody else hates. I always get that the wrong way around. Honourable mentions. Star Trek the Motion Picture. I absolutely love Star Trek the Motion Picture, and I know it's slow, A 2.5 hour movie where if you cut all the scenes of the USS Enterprise slowly panning across the screen, it would only be 17 minutes long. That's not completely unjustified at all, is it? Thanks ever so much, Dave. Very, very much appreciated. I have got Star Trek the Motion Picture on 4K. I picked it up a few months back. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like visually in 4K. They reckon it is stunning to look at. But yeah, not to everybody's taste. I know it's a slow movie, and it is absolutely. I wouldn't deny that. So thanks ever so much for the list, Dave. And when we flip it over to the other side, I look forward to seeing what those other movies are. So get your thinking cap on, because I'm going to want them at some point very soon. So right, time for another quick break. We are going to run out over an hour. It won't be much though, because I've only got a few more bits to do. So I'll be back in a sec. And we're back. Right, coming into the home stretch. So much for keeping it to under an hour. I did kind of lose track of the time, and you can blame Sweary Mary Scott for that one. Cracking video, mate. God knows you gave me so much to talk about, and that's what I like, as everybody knows. If I've got nothing to talk about, I haven't got a video. It's as simple as that. So thanks for that, Scott. Look forward to anything else that you want to throw my way. So let's see, what have I got here? Guy, you're on holiday in Mablethorpe at the moment. Having a really nice time, I hope. You discovered a lovely little cinema, a beautiful place. God knows I wished I'd have seen it. It's a shame that you couldn't take videos in there. I'd have loved to have seen that, but the pictures you took, it just looks magnificent. So then, went to this little gem of an independent cinema in Mablethorpe today. Absolutely brilliant. No chain, gorgeous old school decor, and at £5.95 each, an absolute bargain. You can't complain at those prices, can you? I don't know what it is to get into something like Cineworld now. I'm guessing it's more than a tenner. I'm guessing it is. So that was an absolute bargain. We saw Inside Out 2, had my daughter with me. Lowen Cinema, I salute you. What a gorgeous looking place. Those pictures, I just wish I could have been there. I really, really do. Caroline, you were saying, I love this. I keep promising myself I'll go to the Red Carpet Cinema in Barton, but I've still not been. Ditto. I'm not ruling out, as I've said before, a trip to the cinema. I've just got to be ready for it, that's all. And I know that sounds a little bit over dramatic, but that's just the way it is. Jason, you were saying, drag Tony along. The people I know that go there are of a certain age and they absolutely love it. Nice and quiet, you won't get no kids at the red carpet. Tony would love it, he could have his cuppa whilst there. Cup of tea. Do you know what? I probably would, actually, to be fair. Caroline, you were saying, that sounds like a plan. I think we should bundle him in the boot of my little C1. He'll love it. What's a C1? I take it it's a little car. Bundling me into a boot, you bleeding well won't. Guy, that's a great plan. Let's kidnap Tony and force him to go to the flicks. Force? I never get forced to do anything. Oh, God. It will happen one day, guys, and it will. I don't think I can hold off for it much longer. I can barely remember what it's like to watch a movie on the big screen. It has been so long, but it would need to be something really, really big and something that I desperately want to see to get me into the cinema now. But I'm definitely not ruling it out. Like I said earlier, due to something else. Never say never. Never say never. So, and as for that bargain that you picked up, Guy, my God. A complete set of Python movies worth 37 quid everywhere else, and you got it for £4.99. That was a bargain, believe me. I haven't got the Python movies. If they ever do release them on 4K, I shall get them as a box set. Absolutely. I love them all. Absolutely love them. So yeah, hope you have a good time on your holes, mate. Look forward to your comments when you get back. Dave Taylor, my old mate from work, you texted me the other night. Hi Tony, got back late last night from Greece. Just watched your latest vid. Don't Look Now was mentioned. As you say, it's classed as a bit of a classic now. I've seen it a couple of times but didn't really like it much. I do need to take a look at this one. I get the feeling it's going to be a pretty slow burn of a movie. Seen the beginning, seen a bit of the middle, seen the end, but I've not seen the rest, so I do need to take that in. Michael Caine's outing in Jaws is supposed to be a terrible movie. I've seen it many years ago, don't remember hardly anything from it, but wasn't very impressed. Yeah, I don't think anybody was very impressed with that movie. I don't even know whether I'm going to be. I just get the feeling that it's going to be one of those movies I'm going to watch and think it's not brilliant, but it's nowhere near as bad as everybody has said it is. But let's see, shall we? We're picking it up on 4K probably later this month, along with Jaws 3. So, and I shall let you know what my opinion of that is. As you know, if I did a top 30 or 40 movies, it would feature at least 3 or 4K movies. I'd be curious to know what they are, Dave. Message them over to me. And that question applies to you as well. Name me 5 movies that you hate but everybody else seems to love. That one you should find quite easy, so message them over to me when you get the chance. I watched the original Italian Job just before going on holiday. Not seen it for over 30 years. I used to think it was passable as a kid, but as I got older it seemed to get sillier. Now I don't like it anymore, except for the classic "You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off" scene. Don't think I'll watch it again. I'm ashamed to admit I have never ever seen the original Italian Job. I've got it on Blu-ray. I've seen it at various times of the year. Like Don't Look Now, I've seen sort of bits of the beginning, little bits in the middle of it, and I know how it ends with the bus over the cliff. Over the cliff edge, but I've not seen the rest of it. I do need to take that in because that is an absolute classic, and I can't believe I've not seen it. You lot will. You'll very much believe I've not seen it. So, but it just goes to show our taste in movies changes over the years. What we think is amazing, sort of 30, 40 years ago when we were a lot younger, we now find as sort of completely ridiculous. So yeah, I totally get that. Any more thoughts you have, Dave? Don't hesitate to message them over. I love reading comments out. I think that's pretty much all the comments for this week. Couple of bits I've made a note of. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is actually streaming on Prime already. I thought it was going to be. I looked at it and saw it on Prime and thought, is this going to be the making of it? Or it can't be the film, surely. Sure enough, it is. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is streaming on Prime. So my question is, do I watch it on Prime or do I wait the 3 or 4 weeks for the 4K? My gut feeling is to wait 3 or 4 weeks. I've hung on for sort of 2-3 months since it was first released in cinemas. I've held off from downloading it. Now it turns up on Prime, so do I wait for the 4K? I think I probably should, but let me know, guys, what you think. Mark, you've seen it a while ago. As a standalone movie, yeah, it's all right. I'd watch it again, but it's not a patch on Rise, Dawn, or War for the Planet of the Apes. It's the way with sequels, isn't it? They either work or they don't, and if they do work, they don't work as well as the original movie. So I totally get that, but I shall definitely let you know when I've watched it. So another interesting bit of news here. 28 days later. I saw it years ago, remember quite liking it, haven't seen 28 weeks later. Apparently 28 years later has now finished filming. Wasn't that quick? I only remember reading that it was starting filming probably about 2 months ago. My God, they turn these things out quick. It was reported on a site, production has officially wrapped for Danny Boyle's upcoming horror film 28 years later. It's from a screenplay he co-wrote with Alex Garland. It's going to be good, isn't it? I mean, that was the original team that brought 28 Days Later to the screen. This film marks the third instalment in the cult favourite trilogy, following 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. It's set for release in the UK and the US cinemas on June 20th, 2025. So we've still got the thick end of a year to wait for it, to wait for the release in cinemas. I am looking forward to it. I do need to take a look at both the first two because the original I've not seen for many years, and I've never seen the sequel 28 Weeks Later. So That's one to look forward to. And Jason K, our Ginger Ninja, morning again, Jace. You put a trailer on this week for a movie called The Red. Oh my days, I can't wait to see this. The synopsis from Screen Australia is as follows. The film follows an outback cop investigating horrific deaths in a small mining town. Let me read that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, fucking 1. Here we go. The synopsis from Screen Australia is as follows. The film follows an outback cop investigating horrific deaths in her small mining town before the eccentric townspeople must band together to stop Rippy from killing them all. Rippy is a zombie kangaroo who I believe is a man by day. My God. It stars Michael Biehn from The Terminator and Aliens. Can't be that bad. Director Ryan Coonan has described The Red as a comedy horror film influenced by classic creature features such as The Thing, An American Werewolf in London, Jaws and Razorback. Razorback was an Australian movie, a real... where do you even start with Razorback? It was one of the most gory movies I think I'd ever seen. This was about 1984, 85 when it was released. Cracking movie, and if this is anything like that, then we are in for a treat. I'm 100% up for this movie. I watched the trailer and it looks brilliant, and I know I say this every time, but I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So thanks for posting that one, Jay. Really looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to finding out what Nightmare Sisters is all about. That was your Trashy Tuesday this week, so I'm going to watch that after I finish filming this. Your review of it, and I'm going to see if I can get an hold of the actual movie, because Nightmare Sisters, it sounds interesting. That sounds like something I could pretty much get on with, so looking forward to that. Time Bandits. Who remembers Time Bandits? Let me put this cup down, seeing as there's fucking nothing in it. It's like a comfort blanket. I just kind of hold on to it. It makes me feel safe. Time Bandits. The original movie, directed by Terry Gilliam, starring, you've got John Cleese in there, you've got Sean Connery in there. Absolute classic, directed, as I say, by Terry Gilliam, made by Handmade Films. I love this. I saw it at the cinema when it first came out, fell in love with it. I've seen it probably 9, 10 times, probably more over the years. This is the Arrow Blu-ray that Steve Mack, our Criterion guy, kindly sent to me a few months ago. I do need to re-watch this. But Apple TV have released a series, have made a series called Time Bandits. My first reaction when I heard of it was, well, it's not going to be the same as the film. What's the point in that? My usual sort of blinkered reaction to these things. And I thought, do you know what? I loved the original movie, but let's just see what they've done with it. So I watched the first episode yesterday. I don't really know anybody in it apart from Lisa Kudrow, who plays the leader of the Time Bandits. The story, you'll pretty much know, is very much similar to the original movie. Kevin is a complete history nerd, young kid, about 11, 12. He's a complete history nerd, knows everything about history. He basically lives in his bedroom painting little figures of historical figures, reading historical books, all that kind of thing. And into his life, let's see, they come through a wardrobe, don't they? I only watched this last night, I'm forgetting bits of it already. Basically, he's painting his figures one night, the inside of his wardrobe lights up, he opens it up, and through this wardrobe he can see another world. Steps through it, and he walks in front of a massive Viking being chased by other warriors. It is very similar to the film, but I've got to say that first episode, I really enjoyed it. I think they've got the mix of comedy and action pretty much exactly right. I was really impressed with it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I got 10 minutes into it and thought, this ain't bad. This actually isn't bad. It's streaming on Apple Plus if you want to take a look. I'd be curious to see what you guys think of it if you are a fan of the original movie, which I am. Again, I went into it perfectly prepared to completely dislike it. But as JK, our Ginger Ninja, said the other week, just because a movie is a prequel or a sequel or a reboot or anything like that doesn't automatically make it a bad film or TV series. And this is a classic example of that. I may have to rethink my view or my views on prequels and sequels, and basically take them at face value. Actually watch them, take them in, and then form an opinion rather than, before the thing's even been made, say, look, that's a shit idea. So, yeah, I would say Time Bandits is one of the exceptions to the rule. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would highly, highly recommend it to you. Let's see. What have we got here? Oh, Jason, you asked a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to clear up all these little notes that I've made from the last few weeks so that I've got a completely fresh start for next week. You were asking, did you used to check to see if tapes had been rewound? This was when I used to work at Statenhill Video, or Premier Video, I think it was called. Guy, you said I always rewound, and Mark asked, wasn't there a movie called Be Kind Rewind? Yes, there was, actually. Can't remember what it was about, but I do remember, I think I've seen it. Did I used to rewind the tapes, or did I have to check? Did I check? Yes, I did. Yeah, it was one of the first things I did. The first things I did was open the tape up while the customer was there, and if it hadn't been rewound, I would just put it to the side and rewind it after they'd gone. But yes, I did used to check it, because there is nothing more annoying when you go to put a film on to find out that you've actually got to wait a couple of minutes while it rewinds first, especially if it's a long film. So yes, I did used to check. And did I always used to rewind videotapes that I borrowed or rented out? Yes, absolutely I did. Because I'm a good boy, I am. So yeah, it's the simple answer to that. And I read a review, probably the best review I've ever read, of The Wicker Man, the early 70s, I think it was 1973 movie starring Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward. Brid Hecklin was in it as well. Brilliant movie, absolutely superb, amazing soundtrack of folk music. I read the best review ever of The Wicker Man, and it goes something like this: possibly the best British horror film ever. I've seen it once and want to watch it again, but it scared the wife so much she refuses to be in the same room if it's on. Oh my God, I wouldn't call it that frightening. But that would, if you'd not seen The Wicker Man, that would instantly make you want to take a look at it. So well done for that one, mate. Right, what have I got here? Double bill for the week. I'm going to keep this going every week if I can. This was started by... Who started this? Somebody did a double bill the other week. I can't remember who it was or what it was about, but I will be pairing movies up as a double bill that I would release in cinemas if I could. This is one from 1979. This is a genuine double bill, believe it or not. The first movie of that double bill, and I went to see this, so I know it exists, and I've actually got the poster upstairs. The World is Full of Married Men. This is an adaptation, a very racy adaptation of Jackie Collins's novel of the same name. It went on the back of The Stud and the Bitch from the late 70s. They made a lot of money, so they came up with this one. I thought this was excellent. I would love to grab a copy of this on Blu-ray if they ever release it. I'm guessing it's probably music rights that's holding it back, but I would love to see that. But this was one half of a double bill that I went to see in 79. Now, what would you put with that? Something like these, maybe? The Adventures film, Adventures of a Taxi Driver, Private Eye, Plumber's Mate, something like that. Maybe these. The Stud and the Bitch. Wouldn't that make an outstanding double bill, or a triple bill if you put all three of them on? Absolutely brilliant. No, that's not what it opened with. The other half of that double bill was this. Believe it or not, The Hills Have Eyes. Could they be any more different as movies? I don't know. But this is what The World is Full of Married Men toured the UK cinemas with. The Hills Have Eyes. One of the most unlikely double bills ever. I went to see it, loved both of them. Couldn't have been more different. But that is my double bill for this week, and it's an unusual one. I've already got one lined up for next week, so that's going to be kept going. Shows I grew up with, that's coming back. I'm slowly bringing back all of the old features that I used to do that I think worked really, really well. And for some reason, I dropped them one by one, and I've no idea why, because yet again, it gives me something to talk about. Shows I grew up with this week. Guy, I wonder if you'll remember this. Michael Bentine's Potty Time. Obviously, Michael Bentine was a member of the Goons for many years. He starred in probably a couple of films, and then went into this. This was I think it was an ATV series, and this would have been about 1970. Is it on here? 1973. Oh, it might be a bit before your time, Guy. I just got the feeling this would be right up your street. It's hard to describe. If I can just read off the back. Oh, there isn't anything on the back. Also, they're obviously just assuming that you know exactly what it's about. Yeah, all it is Michael Bentine with a load of weird-looking puppets. He voiced them. It was in a very similar vein to the Goons. The humour was sort of zany, wacky, loud. It was just really, really good fun. It ran for years. I think there were about 3 series of this, and I think each series had let's see, it must have been about 15, 20 episodes in each one, so it ran for quite a while. And obviously it was on children's TV. I can't remember what day it went on, but it was usually on about 4:30 in the afternoon. I used to love this, absolutely loved it. My mum hated it, absolutely hated it. All she could say was, "This is bloody stupid." It's Michael Bentine, it's supposed to be stupid, but that is my show this week, the show that I grew up with, or one of the shows I grew up with. Right, what have I got here? Bits I've been buying. I'll start off with 3 movies that I've been loaned to take a look at. Donna, a colleague of mine at work, good mate, thanks for these, Don. She brought these in for me. We're talking about the fact that I absolutely hated, or not hated, but didn't really get Deadpool the first time I watched it. And I did happen to mention that maybe I do need to take another look at it, and maybe I'd watched it on the wrong day or whatever. But she kindly bought me in the Blu-ray, which is pretty much the same one that I actually gave away when I realised I didn't like it the first time round. But I will give it another go. So this will form part of an episode of The Loaners, which I used to do ages ago, movies that have been loaned by various people. So that's one she bought me in. She also bought me in the sequel. I believe we were also talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. I think she went to see it at the cinema and really enjoyed it. So I've got the sequel to Tekken, and also this one. I can't remember how we got onto the subject of this. I've never seen it, but everywhere that I've looked online has given it sort of really, really glowing reviews. So I thought, yeah, she bought this in for me. I thought, yeah, I'll take that in. From the producers of Shaun of the Dead, Inner City versus Outer Space, Attack the Block. Has anybody else seen this? If you guys have seen this, give me the heads up on what it's like. I do intend to watch these basically as soon as I can, because I don't like holding on to other people's discs any longer than I have to. So it's 88 minutes. It's a nice short sort of running time. Some of the reviews on the back: unmissable, brilliant, a total blast. It's nothing less than the new Shaun of the Dead. That's a hell of an accolade to put on any film, that is. But Attack the Block, have you seen it? What do you reckon to it? And for some reason, somebody published this on their Kevin Costner week, as in, is it films that I love, or so? I can't remember. That thread you're running, Jace, anyway. And I thought, you know what? I need to get a copy of this, because I've never seen it. I've heard so much about it. Everybody that I've spoken to has said it's an amazing movie. I can't believe you've not seen it. They don't know me very well, obviously. The one thing that put me off it is a certain song that topped the charts for like 3 years in 1992. But I can't let that put me off. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's the Arrow copy. Let's see, this has got 2 cuts of the film on, including the extended cut. That's probably the one I'm going to go for. But again, I'll throw that out to you guys. Do I watch the theatrical version or the extended cut? I always tend to go for the extended cut when I'm faced with that question, but you let me know. And on the same page as that, I thought, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound. I've never seen this before. The Postman. I went through a sort of a very, very quick Kevin Costner phase. I don't know very much about this movie. It's apparently very sort of Mad Max-ish, if that makes any sense. But that is pretty much all I know about it. It's another 3-hour epic, so I've got to set aside a morning to watch that one. And finally, Waterworld. Again, never seen it, but they reckon it is visually gorgeous to look at. I did look at the 4K, but a lot of the reviews on there have basically said that it's not much difference visually than the Blu-ray, so you might as well just stick with the Blu-ray rather than paying sort of 25 quid for it. So I got this for, I think it was £7.99 off Amazon, so I'm really looking forward to watching that. Am I right in saying, Jace, this is one of your favourite movies? I'm sure I remember you talking about this one once with very fond memories, so let me know on that one. Again, that's a long movie. I think the extended version is, it's called the Ulysses cut, the European Ulysses cut. Let's see, runtime 135 minutes, 176 minutes and 178 minutes. Is there 3 cuts of the film on this then? Whichever, it's a long movie, so yeah, looking forward to that. 2 of my favourite books are the Scarred for Life books, which basically take a look at TV, adverts, etc. of the 1970s and basically show the world how this kind of stuff traumatised us all those decades ago. There is now a 3rd volume, which I got through yesterday. Scarred for Life. Look at the size of that. Great news for all readers inside. It says Volume 3, Pop Culture in the Shadow of the Bomb. And this is basically a whole catalogue of all sorts of programmes, adverts, music, everything to do with the constant threat of nuclear war. And that is that's a book to dip into. It is not a book to read from cover to cover, or at least I don't think it is. And finally, I've got the latest issue of Intermission, which is Talking Pictures TV's magazine. I love this. Absolutely adore this magazine. Presentation wise, it's gorgeous. You've got puzzles in here, you've got crosswords, articles, all sorts. Looking forward to having a read of that. And the latest edition of Yours Retro, which you've got articles on Casablanca, Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet, Columbo, Lee Marvin, John Lennon, Fantasy Island, and the original Superman, who killed TV's Man of Steel. So that will do very nicely for some tea break reading. 90 minutes. So much for keeping it under an hour. Thanks ever so much for joining me, and once again thanks for all your support regarding the doubts I was having about carrying on with this or cutting down the running time or anything like that. You've all been brilliant, and I'm sure you will be next week when you're actually going to be watching this. Scott, take absolutely no notice of any of these people that are giving you grief. None of them are worth it, I promise you. You just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing just fine. Right, have a brilliant week, folks. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks ever so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share, all that sort of thing. I'll be back next week, same time. Whether it'll be another 90-minute extravaganza, I don't know. That's all down to you lot. So you give me enough to talk about and I'll keep doing it. I would like to keep it under an hour if I can, but you know, it is what it is. So have a brilliant week, folks, and I will talk to you all about the same time next week. Take care. Ta-da.